Switching screens.
Okay, so
hold on.
let's hold on a bit. Let's go back.
Let's go back. You don't want to walk on stage with silence, right? That's not what you guys deserve. Are we ready for pitch number 3? Yeah!
We're the Xmen school, and how many of you were students in here? Can I see a show of hands? How many of you were students? How many of you managed to get a job? Okay, brilliant news for everyone, because 75 million youths right now are unemployed. And out of the qualified entry-level graduate jobs, 40% of employees prefer to leave vacancies than to fill those spots with people who aren't qualified with a certain set of skills, the soft skills. So our solution is to create an online platform that provides that one-on-one mentoring service for them. And what we want to do is we want to give these students the opportunity to develop these soft skills, to be able to build that portfolio of soft skills so they can prove that they have them, and they can give examples of where they've developed them. So, who's going to use this service? Well, have a look at Greta and Dan. Greta left university. She's got a degree. She can't get a job. Dan is about to leave university, but he wants to take a year out to get a minor job, if you like, or a non-graduate job to start developing those soft skills. So they know that this lack of soft skill development that they have is something important to them. What McKinsey say, McKinsey's got a big education department, and they wrote Education to Employment, massive research project. They found out these things. High value of soft skills with employers, but really difficult to define. So how do you teach them? Because there are lots of groups out there who say they teach them, but they don't do it effectively. That's where we step in. So what services are we going to offer? We're going to offer assessment before the student arrives and starts the modules, and after. So they know where they begin, they know where they're working towards, they know where they end when they leave us, and they've got that portfolio of skills. One-on-one mentoring, and a tailor-made program. Each individual student gets an individual program that suits their needs. Who are going to be the coaches? Who are going to be these mentors? Well, we are aiming for everyone to be as good a teacher as Professor X is. But also we're going to draw from the world of athletes, comedians, politicians and inspirational speakers, and maybe people who can carve up meat pretty well. As you can see from our website, we've got a very intuitive, simple interface which allows people to navigate very quickly, and we break down our training into teaching, exemplifying, and then briefing, and then the student goes ahead and does their work. Our pricing structure, we have less than 300 euros for an all-in-one package which focuses on one skill set. And that has the summative assessment, which has a recognised qualification at the end of it, so that you can go to employers, they know what it is, and they know the value of it. We also have a standalone one-on-one mentoring session for less than 40 euros, and we have freemium content, which is subscription, which is 5 euros for that first month, and then less than 20 per month to develop those skills, but without necessarily having that certificate at the end. And if your university pairs up with us, then you can get access to that for free. This is our website, our Facebook site. You can see that in the last 40 hours, we've already got 424 likes. And we've been building on that. Thank you. We've been building on that with other validation tests. You can see we've got email addresses, and we've got people who are prepared to part with cash to get access to this. Our next steps, we need to develop the beta version. We need to pilot it with TU Eindhoven. We need to build up the credibility with the employers, and we need to establish a launch date once we've developed all of the courses and got them in place. So what do we need now? We need ties with universities. We need that employer recognition, and we need a few euros. And this is the end. We start on the left-hand side with Christian, and by the time he's finished doing the Xmen, he's got that extra qualification. Thank you very much.
But you're not done yet. Because here we go to the judges. Anyone care to go first? Here we go.
So how do you guarantee the quality of the mentors? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, well, the first thing we need to do is we need to set up those courses, and we match the course to the mentor. And we're going to have a recruitment process where we can identify those mentors that we need and their sets of skills and their experience and so on, and then we can put them into that position. We might trial them to begin with, and then as we gain confidence with them and we gain that working relationship, then we can go further ahead and get more solidified contracts, if you like.
So for a one-to-one mentor session, if I'm right, you were asking about 40 euros.
Yeah.
And then so how does it work? You pay the mentor for that, and you yourself take 5, or?
No, it's all done through that one website.
Yeah.
So the student will pay us, and then we will pay the mentor for that session to begin with, and then as we grow, we'll get full-time mentors working with us.
Okay. So you will not take a share of the 40 euro then in the beginning?
Yes, we will, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we will not give the mentors the 40 euros, they'll get a portion of that.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting idea, first of all, and I think a large market. My question is validation. Were you able to validate whether it's possible to open up soft skills by means of an internet approach?
Well, by having the one-on-one mentoring, we can establish that assessment, if you like, of how the students are going and how the skills are developing. But we're going to design tasks which put them into positions where they have to engage with those soft skills and get experience of using them.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if I can say something as well. I do internet marketing for a little company that helps people overcome their fear of public speaking in America, and it also works via Skype, and it has a lot of success. So in the sense of soft skills, there's social skills. So I definitely see the value of doing that in this, and I also think that people who have issues with soft skills have also, how do you say, a hurdle to overcome, to do that in person, so that it makes it easier for them to do it in the comfort of their own home. Or
yeah, but exactly for that reason, when you were doing this online experiment,
yeah,
I just understood that they had to practicize it also.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so they do take it out of their home when they do exercise.
Well, I think it's great that you use immediately social media to test your idea and to find your maybe your clients. One advice is, if you make a presentation, please put it 3 bull eyes maximum, because otherwise people will go to read instead listening to you.
Yeah.
And another advice, it's already exists, this program, so I really would like to connect you to Ed Winters, baby. Ed, please stand. He's also working for the local municipality, so I think it's a good idea if you connect to each other.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thanks. Good work, guys. One question I have is, so you mentioned in the presentation yourself that intangibles are very hard to measure, soft skills are hard to express and market. How are you going to sell this to companies or governments or educational institutions to prove that, yeah, you guys are the ones that are actually helping to develop these people's soft skills? And how about if they say, hey, this is a very hard thing to measure? Is the fact that they went through Xmen school the only validation that you can give them, or how are you going to prove that they have like metrics to prove that, hey, they actually improved since coming to school?
Well, the first thing we do when they come into the school is we benchmark them. We've got competency-based levels, and we're able to assess them against those levels to determine which level they're at. Once we do that, the modules then will seek to improve their experiences so that that level increases and they demonstrate the higher level competencies.
How are you going to assess online?
No, with the online, it would be, for example, with presentation skills, we'd either have an option where the presentation could be watched by an assessor remotely, or it could be videoed and then emailed or submitted online to that assessor.
One last quick question from Patrick or Nick.
Yeah, it's more in line with what was asked before as well. I mean, the soft skills, as it says itself, is very difficult to assess. And looking at EY, the thing that McKinsey says, we see that as well. People are well trained, but then to engage with clients and be commercial are totally different skill sets. So I think you're really onto something, but maybe it's not a question, but also just a comment. This is obviously something to really think this through in 2 days' time is extremely difficult, right?
Exactly.
So I think also you need to connect with those companies that can actually use it, and look at, okay, how can you build this? By the way, I think that the fees you're asking are quite low.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you really want to get people on the next stage of social skills, I know what we pay for those kind of things. It's a little bit more than this. So, but I certainly would ask you to connect to, and also think of if you can build a community of people who went through the program, because they may be willing also much more to help others improve as well.
Yeah, we've been
All right,
discussing...
thank you. Sorry, we are out of time.